What's up, everybody? How's it going? Just trying to get it arranged here. I hope everybody's having a good day. It's me, Don Michelle. Man, it's a dreary day here again. Wasn't it a dreary day last week too? Man, something about Thursdays lately. But that's okay, you know. I know we're not quite to April, but I'm hoping that all these showers will bring us some flowers at some point in some month. I can't believe that February is almost over. This month seems to fly by. I think it's because it's such a fun month for me. And I was like, stay, February, stay. I hope everybody's doing really well today and that you're feeling encouraged. Today is a very interesting Devo because I've been really thinking a lot about this really hard recently. And I'm really interested to share it with you guys. And I hope that we can find a lot of common ground and just maybe a new viewpoint on either sides, and hopefully in the end, just ways to walk in more love in our lives. Hello, Giselle. Palma, nice to see you. You're awesome too. So today we're going to talk about mental illness, and it's kind of a very strange topic, I would think, for a Devo, but I think a super duper important one, and so that's why I'm really interested to talk about it. And I've been kind of all over the spectrum with thinking about what I wanted to discuss today, because honestly I spent some time really frustrated and angry earlier this week just thinking about this topic and some stuff that I've been going through and experiencing, and I just knew, because I felt so extremely about it, that I wanted to talk about it, but I feel like I've moved past my super angry phase. So I'm ready to talk about it in a nice way. So anyhow, the verse we're going to discuss today is Ephesians 4:2, and it says, "Be completely humble and gentle. Be patient, bearing with one another in love." And I thought that was a really powerful verse, because I think a lot of times when interacting with other people, we don't think about humility and gentleness first. And patience is definitely, it's second on my list. Patience is not where I start when dealing with difficult situations. I don't know if you do, but I do. Hi, more people are joining. Ricardo, Tiffany, hi. So, if you're just joining, we are going to be talking about mental illness, which is a huge topic, I think, and we could probably talk about this for hours, but we're not going to. I just want to do a small little snippet here just to get all of us thinking and hopefully interacting in a better way than we typically do. I was getting really angry about hearing a story from a friend earlier this week, and then after a while I realized that the person I should be angry at is myself, because it's the circumstance that they were talking about is something that I've actually done in the past too. To be more specific, what kind of inspired all this was I was talking with a girlfriend of mine who has really struggled for a long time with intense illness, mental illness, and I was just asking her about the different things that, that she's been going through and how she's been trying to heal, and, talking to her about her doctors and what their suggestions have been. And I asked her if they had suggested antidepressants to help her with what she was dealing with. And she's like, yes, they did. But honestly, I'm really nervous about doing that, and I'm not really interested in doing that. I don't want to take antidepressants. And, I was talking to one of my loved ones about it and about what they thought about it. And they didn't say anything directly, but they said, well, just pray about it first. And when I heard that, and I looked at my friend who I could see was suffering and had been for so long, it made me so stressed out and upset, because I knew that without meaning to, that really well-meaning individual who said, just pray about it first, the message that she received, even though it seemed like a gentle message, was, if you do this, it's probably not the right thing to do. And the fact, which probably made her feel ashamed for even maybe needing to go on antidepressants, and piled all of this on top of her, that now she could no longer climb out from underneath, and she felt, no, I'm just going to have to pray this away, and there's no other hope for me. And I got so upset hearing this, even though I knew the person was well-intending. But honestly, if I think back, I know there's times when I was younger and in my just beginning my walk and the things I was learning at the time, I think I probably said that exact same thing to other people. So what I want to do is kind of revamp my mindset and maybe revamp some of our mindsets out there too about this topic. So what I want to talk about is the fact that there's kind of a double standard, especially in the church, when it comes to illnesses of the brain in comparison to illnesses of other parts of the body. Like, here's my arm, inside my arm is my bones, and inside my torso is my heart and my stomach and my lungs and my intestines and more bones and all sorts of stuff on the inside. And whenever things go wrong with those things, it's pretty much expected that I will go to the doctor and I will talk to the doctor, because the doctor's been to years and years and years of school, and I might get somebody's advice from around me, things like that. But when it comes to like a broken bone or even like a super high fever, stuff like that, I go into the doctor and the doctor tells me what to do, tells me I should take some medicine. And if I did break my arm, if I called somebody and told them about it, they wouldn't say, you know what, I think you should just pray about it first before you go to the doctor. Maybe you should pray about it. They wouldn't say that. Why? Because when you tell somebody who's struggling, and I mean legitimate chemical imbalance in their brain, which, by the way, as I've been mentioning all these organs, the brain is also an organ inside your body. And when we have an illness of the brain, it's just like any other illness anywhere else in our body. And when you tell someone, you should just pray about that first, in a way that's kind of discouraging them from taking the advice of their doctors, you're trying to kind of step in between them and their doctor. And you're suggesting to them that they're not having faith if they take the advice of their doctor. There's a lot of things there, but you're using this double standard where the organ that is the brain up inside your mind, is an organ just like your heart, and if you need to go to the doctor and get some medicine for your heart, you do that without any hesitation, and no one would think anything poorly of you. But there is this double standard between mental illness and illness in the rest of our bodies. And I just want to address that today. And I want to suggest that all of us, before we say things like that, maybe we should just pray about it first and think about it. When we look at our motives and look at our understanding and just kind of try to ask ourselves, am I the most educated person when it comes to illnesses of the body and of the mind? They're all inside the body. And what I would do is I would just encourage these people who are struggling, and I think we kind of get this idea that we know what's going on with people because we've had bad days and we've had sad times. But my father always says there's a big difference. When everything's going wrong and you're sad about it, that's not depression. That's reality. Now, when everything's pretty much just fine or basically normal and you're still sad about it, now that's depression. And a lot of times that can be caused by a chemical imbalance in your mind, which can be created through trauma in childhood, through years of stress and difficult circumstances. Lots of things contribute to simply the brain chemistry going on inside the organ that is your brain getting a little bit off. And when that's the case, the doctor is trained to know this is the right time to apply medicines, or at least give it a try and see if we can help it. I mean, I'm sure we've all had some kind of condition that we took medicine for and it didn't end up helping, But that didn't mean the next time you went to the doctor, you didn't follow his advice then too either. So what I just want to do is have everybody to just start praying about this idea that there's something different between mental illness and physical illness somewhere else in the body. Because I don't think that God sees a difference there. Now, it's true if we are, going through a dark times, things are hard, and we're feeling dark about that, we need to keep praying, and we need to do positive things in our lives, like we talked about so many things the last 3 weeks about how to find joy more in our daily lives. And we need to do what we can in order to turn that around for ourselves and keep our focus on the positive and the light and the hopefulness. But at the same time, if someone is struggling with mental illness, the person I'm talking about, she'd been struggling with mental illness for years and years and years. It was very clearly a situation where something was imbalanced, and she definitely needed to go by the doctor's orders. And here a well-meaning person has come in and kind of inserted his own theology about it. And set her back, I don't know how far, for how long, because she was discouraged and she was made to feel ashamed to just follow the orders that the doctor gave her. And that's not right. It's absolutely not right. And I know I've done that in the past before. So I think this is something that maybe we all need to think about a little bit more and to have more clarity on, and just realize that I think maybe the stigma between mental illness and physical illness is mental illness tends to affect other people a lot in your life. So if you have a mental illness, it affects the things that you say and the things that you do towards other people. And so maybe that's why it feels so different than other, like a broken arm and things like that. But unfortunately, you know, this body, we live in a fallen world. This body is very fallible and things go wrong with it. And sometimes they can even go wrong with the organs inside your mind. You know, there's a neurochemical called serotonin, and it is the chemical that your body releases when it's time to be happy. But some people have something going off kilter and their body's not releasing serotonin anymore. Or maybe they've been through so many traumas, or there's all sorts of different instances where suddenly they have a deficiency, and now they feel upset because a lot of bad things have happened, but they can't even seem to snap out of it. And it might be because their brain got programmed a little bit off balance now with those neurochemicals, and even though they're trying to get better and they're praying and they're doing the right things every day to get better, their brain chemistry is just it's not helping them out, and they're not feeling any better, or suddenly they're feeling very angry, or suddenly they're feeling very depressed and hopeless and all these different things, you know. I know in talking to lots of people who struggle with depression, if you didn't know this, it is a natural instinct. Self-preservation is a natural instinct. It is. And if you see someone who is suicidal, something's not right, because their natural instinct of self-preservation has been kicked off. And chances are either there's a current, like an imbalance has suddenly happened, or they've been living with an imbalance for so long that they're so far away from the healthy balance of their brain, you know. And I just want all of us to start seeing those people and treating them with love. We should be completely humble. We should not act like we know more than we do. If you went to medical school, fantastic, give them your opinion as far as that's concerned. But if not, you should be humble and gentle and patient and bearing with one another in love, like it says in Ephesians 4:2. Because who knows what you may face one day, and you will hope that someone will support you and not make you feel ashamed or broken. Because those kind of things are what contribute to people just continuing on in their illness, and eventually who knows what kind of circumstance or outcome. Okay, guys, I'm going to climb off my soapbox about this. I'm hoping that somebody out there needed to hear it, either in their interactions with others, or maybe you're dealing with this stuff right now and dealing with the onslaught of what everybody else is throwing at you. Just know you're not alone at all. And there is hope for you, because the power of God is so much bigger than the power of medicine and the power of human beings. And at the same time, God has given power in the human mind to be able to do incredible things, create medicines, create things that help heal people at the same time. And with all those things working together, there's nothing that can stop you. I always say, if you don't quit, you can't lose, because you live to fight another day. So I just am praying for you guys. I love you, and I'm praying for you to feel better and to do better and to be surrounded by people who love you and show you the true love of God. All right, guys, have a great day. I want to talk more about this in the future. I think I'm going to develop a segment where we bring in people who are struggling with different aspects, maybe of mental illness, who knows what, and talk to them, get their opinions, get their viewpoint, you know, because it's really impossible to understand how someone else is feeling if you've never felt that way too, or unless you listen and have empathy. So look forward to that in the future. We're going to get it started by maybe next week. So I'll be making announcements about that. I hope you're doing great. Thank you, everybody who's been listening. Hi, Tiffany. Ricardo again. Blessings to you too. And love you guys. Take care. Have a great rest of your week.